Okay, so I'm gonna give you some tips on how to get into Lotus for Lotus postures. Something I often see, people come into their Lotus like this. And here they're sort of bringing their knees out to the side. And their feet are pretty low. They're not really high up on their legs. And this is fine, but it's gonna lack some depth over time. You're gonna find that you're not really deepening your Lotus. Your hips are sort of maybe stuck in one place. And also for binding postures, you're gonna find that your foot is maybe a little far away for you to reach. So I'm gonna show you a way that you should be getting into Lotus to help really open up the hips and get the foot a little closer for binds. And also it'll give you a little more integrity for the knees. It'll help the knees. So when you come into Lotus, start with your legs straight. So don't start here and then come in. Legs completely straight. And then bend your first leg in, which is your right leg if you practice Ashtanga. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure that your calf and your thigh are together. You wanna swing the hip back, lift the knee, swing the hip back. Make sure, again, this is all moving with one connection. You're not twerking the knee like this. You're swinging it back, and then you swing it, lift the foot as high as possible, and you just leave the knee where it is. So you're not pushing the knee down like this. The knee is up, the foot is high. Now, when you go to bring the other leg in, keep dropping this first hip down and trying to keep the knee forward. And so everything is sort of hugging in, you're keeping it tight. So this knee is going forward, it's not pushing out to the side, forward, and then lift this leg to go on top. And then you're also pulling your knees towards each other. And now this Lotus it's much deeper, it's getting into the hips more. If I need to bind my foot, it's actually a lot easier for me to catch. And this works for any posture, any sort of Lotus posture. So this is a full Lotus. This is how you would do your Lotus, maybe at the end of practice, to do these poses. And when you have like a half Lotus posture, same thing. If you're doing Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana, you bring the hip back, lift the foot up, keep the hip swinging forward, knee coming forward, and then take the bind, as opposed to pushing the knee down like this. And then now the foot is pretty hard to get. So for this one, same with any of the Mirichasanas, where you're bending this leg and bringing it up. This hip keeps swinging in, the knee is going forward. Just keep the knee lifted. Don't push the knee down to the side. So when the foot is high up and you have this leg bent, if you're going to twist towards this leg, then the hip should be coming in, it's moving along with your body, right? If you're pulling it out to the side, then you're actually going in two different directions. So again, swing the hip in, knee up, and then push the heel even into the abdomen, and then it'll be a lot easier for you to twist. So those are my tips on Lotus postures and Lotus in general, and I hope they're helpful.